This year was filled with wins and losses, triumphs and failures.
Brandon McKinnon remembers this valedictorian speech well.
Our graduating class was split up into 11 groups. Normally, you didn't get a retake, but I got 11 times to do it. So, I feel like the first 3 or 4 times I perfected it, and then the other times just felt like a cakewalk. COVID-19 sucks, but our time at the World certainly did not.
It's all a bit of a blur.
There's me.
McKinnon remembers getting ready for a school trip abroad in 2020, but that never happened. COVID-19 restrictions took hold instead, pushing the rest of his school year online.
I enjoyed, obviously, the social aspects of school, so it was an adjustment.
Parents struggling to work from home were also trying to keep their kids focused on doing schoolwork. Some didn't have enough computers. Others didn't have good internet. A former elementary vice principal says it was all hands on deck.
I think we've learned that elementary schools are very important to the running of society. Parents couldn't work, kids can't go to school. It totally made everything fall apart, really.
It was an on-again, off-again situation.
All public schools will close for 2 weeks.
Charlottetown Rural High School will be open on Monday. These 4 schools will be moving to remote learning.
All schools on P.E.I. will be open as of tomorrow morning for classes.
The return to in-class learning will depend on our epidemiology.
We're trying with all of our might to reopen.
It prompted one island pediatrician to speak up, saying being home was doing more harm than good. He worried about students' mental health and pushed to have kids in class. When they finally did go back, it was with strict restrictions: cohorts, masks, testing, sanitizing.
We actually had the most in-class learning of any other province. Although our schools were shut, of course, from mid-March till June, and then again for 2 weeks in 2021 in the fall. Those were things that were able to happen because of the commitment, really, of Islanders.
When you're in the situation, you're just kind of responding, and you're trying to just kind of problem solve and troubleshoot different issues. I think you need a little bit of distance to kind of say, well, wow, how we responded. No, it wasn't perfect, but it was really good.
Tough too, though, academically and socially. The public schools branch says some kids have bounced back better than others. At school, there are few reminders it happened at all.
Brings back memories.
But behind the scenes, the PSB is focusing on social-emotional learning. Some schools have better ventilation systems, and the relationship with public health is stronger.
It felt sometimes that we were, building the plane as we were flying it. But at the same time, everybody put their shoulders to the wheel, and we got through it. I think that we would be much better prepared if something happens again.
As for McKinnon, he's keen to move on.
I don't want to spend this whole speech talking about the pandemic, though.
And graduate from university next year. But if given the chance, he says he'd do another valedictorian speech, or 11, in a heartbeat. Sheehan, Desjardins, CBC News, Charlottetown.